It's hard to change when you're unwilling to be honest with yourself.
My main mission was to tell everybody that I was not working hard. And then I say this all the time, and then someone was like, well, that's great, but is it growing? And no, it's shrinking. How much of a victim I had made myself. I'd projected everything else, that I was strong and everything else, but inside I was just hiding. We took on some debt to try to keep the momentum going, and they just dragged me down into I was a shell of myself for 3 or 4 years. I think that if they really want to transform the company, those are just mechanical things you can do. If you want to transform your company, get vulnerable to really, really, really unlock the potential in the business. It's the human side.
First of all, for those that are watching this episode, we just got done with a big event.
Awesome event.
So my adrenaline is like, oh, finally they will to set down. John was a big part in helping us this morning. And so I know we're both just kind of like, all right, like, let's log in.
Yeah. Yes.
I wanted to start the pod. I was excited to actually be able to finally record one with you.
It is overdue.
Because you're just so hard to get a hold of.
Mm-hmm.
You're just so famous. Everyone loves you.
Yes. Has nothing to do with me and my follow-up at all.
No. Your texting abilities. Actually, it sucks because we're both bad texters.
Yeah.
And if you have two, it's just a recipe for.
I don't think you're a bad texter.
Yeah.
Distractions. I chase squirrels all the time.
Well, at least you know your weaknesses.
That's right. Yes.
Right now, Bloom Growth Coach.
Mm-hmm.
Helping business owners scale and just have alignment, and we'll talk about all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
You have a successful company in Michigan, Great Electric Power.
Great Lakes Essential Power.
Great Lakes Essential Power.
Mm-hmm.
See, you also didn't fill out a guest form, which is also your fault, because if you would have filled out a guest form, I would have had your bio, I would have had your guest.
But then that sounds way too scripted.
Formal. Yeah, you're right. We're just two bros.
Yeah.
Hanging out.
Yeah, hanging out, being cool.
But you are growing a successful company. You're also just an avid connector of people.
Mm-hmm.
You, for those that don't know, so Cannon, who runs shop over at 313, you connected us.
Mm-hmm.
And then you connected us with our first client and our third client.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just amazing, bro. So I'm just grateful for you. I'm thankful for your just involvement in my life. And it's like we were just talking about the event.
Yeah.
Meeting the right person at the right time can change the trajectory of everyone.
Yeah, and all those things you just said right back. I'm not going to say it any more eloquently, but right back at you. Yeah, I'm going to knock that over.
Yeah, I just watching it.
Yeah, they did a wonderful job at the event.
Blake's, shout out Bakehouse 46, Blake's Cider Mills, and anyway, you guys did great. Killed it.
Yeah, awesome. I will say it is accelerated because you've been a great connector for me also. You allowed me to use your studio in the past, and look out, there's going to be some more coming in this studio. So it's been less than a year, so I was just counting it down. I remember I was walking along the Chicago River when we talked on the phone. It was supposed to be like a 15-minute check-in. Who is this guy, Cannon? And it turned into 45 minutes or an hour, whatever it was. And then, and then here we are. And so your heart spills over. Everyone sees it. And so everyone you've connected with me has been happy to engage with me because they know who the connection came from.
Yeah.
So
appreciate that. I don't do well with compliments, so we both are awesome. That's what it is. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I wanted to people listening to this, if you're growing a company, even if you're not, like, anything you're doing, if building relationships is not the focal point of your business strategy, you're missing it. Yeah. Like, a lot of times we think, we gotta do ads, we gotta do this, we gotta do that. It's like, or you just meet the right person. Yeah. And life becomes a heck of a lot easier.
Yeah, it can accelerate things for sure.
Yeah, and so that's you've just been a blessing. I wanted to start the show off by saying that.
Thank you.
So tell me about Bloom. It's an operating system. Yep. People may or may not be familiar with it. So tell me about what is Bloom, why are you doing it, why the career change, and we're going to get into your other company. We'll start that in a second.
Really, I mean, the whole genesis of everything started with my company, Great Lakes Essential Power, because most of your audience knows or potentially knows about EOS, right? We're Gino, the whole crew, Mike Gruley, all those guys. My company ran on EOS, and I had a wonderful implementer named Mike Coates. And through those years, it was wonderful that what it allowed me to do in my business. But then I realized I wanted to be able to help others. I fell in love. The more I connected with other entrepreneurs, it didn't happen as much in my regular business. But the more I got in tune with connecting with other entrepreneurs, I was just so excited and I'm just impressed by what it takes to be an entrepreneur, to have the gusto, the guts to slap a few bucks together, to put something together, right? Betting on yourself, betting on the team around you. And so I realized I wanted to help entrepreneurs. And I know and knew that operating systems are a way that 98% of the companies, the small to medium businesses in the country and the world are just flying by hard work, right? Doing some things, maybe getting help from other people. But that framework of being able to take the ideas and then chunk them down into actionable plans and have your team help you was just intoxicating for me. So thought I wanted to become an EOS implementer. I mean, I knew it. I knew I wanted to. But, at the time, I wasn't sure how I wanted to step into that, and I was doing Working Genius facilitations because I just found out, Patrick Lencioni's work, I loved how simple that was. So I was doing facilitations for companies, and I came across Bloom Growth, the software. It's actually a software company for companies that are running on an operating system. And I facilitated for their whole company, and after leaving that, I realized they were creating an operating system, right? And it's really based on the same principles that pretty much all operating systems are. None of them are their own unique thing, but they're just taken from other people.
Sure.
Right? They just packaged wonderfully so that most knuckleheads like me can actually go action things. And what I loved that was different was they were going to focus on all the business things, but they wanted to have a human relationship element that was the cornerstone of it. And that's what really brought me to Bloom Growth. So yes, I work with leadership teams to help grow, to scale, to declutter their life, to maybe give the business owner maybe a life back. But that's through the normal mechanics of creating a plan, right? Most people have thoughts, but they don't ever write it down and no one else knows about it. So those simple things, how to have a structured meeting. I know you're living in it, right? You see the power of what, because I know you run on EOS, so you know what it's like. And those that do, will never go back, right? It's like, holy cow, I can't imagine running a business without something like that, right? So, so me getting to go do that with leadership teams. So I help facilitate for 8 or 9 hour sessions, different things to build them up to get their structure focused. And then I help facilitate them as the third party questioner, for lack of a better word, to help them with their strategy every quarter and then 2 days for the annual. So I'm the one that helps and wants people to be uncomfortable because growth is hard, growth is uncomfortable. And not everyone is used to what that looks like. And, when breakthroughs happen, there's a lot of pain. And a lot of people don't want to step into that. So that's my job, is to help push people. They say they want to go grow and do things. Their actions don't always align. So I love being a part of that growth.
Well, I think it's the importance of a third party person. Because growth is uncomfortable, and a lot of times it's so uncomfortable we won't do it ourselves.
Absolutely.
And so having that that's a lot of people crap on business coaches and I'm I'm not a massive life coach guy or whatever, but I do understand the importance of bringing someone in that's not in your day to day, and they have a completely different POV than what you do. Because when you're in the business, you're supposed to be working on the business, but when you're really on, you're in.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you have your babies or you think that are good ideas, and having that other person that's been there, that's done that, that's seen it, that can speak from experience is invaluable. And so no matter what operating system you're on, who cares? It's that third party person that I think that's almost the most valuable piece of it. Forget whatever operating system you use. It's like sitting down for a day and having someone just facilitate a meeting for you. And as a business owner, dude, for Mike, I don't have to come prepared for a quarterly meeting in the sense of I don't have to come up, I get to be a participant with my crew. Yeah. That's unbelievably freeing. And I know that you're the same way.
Oh yeah. And actually, so I was doing pro bono EOS facilitation work for a long time because Mike coaches allowed me to use the tools and just help some nonprofits and things like that. So I knew how it operated and ran. And so then when I really became a Bloom Growth coach, I'll facilitate my own company, Great Lakes Central Power. And we got through it. And again, most companies, it's better than nothing.
Yeah, for sure.
But then one of my fellow Bloom Growth coaches said, you dummy. You're not getting anything out of those meetings.
Yeah.
You might be getting some things, but you're not pushing yourself. You're like, yeah, you're right. Because I'm trying to make myself uncomfortable, make someone else like it. So I have a coach in my business.
Yep.
So that I'm not the one.
Yes.
Right.
Because it's hard. Because a lot of times, let's say you have a personnel issue. If you're always the one running the show, it's either really hard for them to be honest with you because you're running it, or it's hard for you to be honest with them because you're trying to make everyone happy. But when you have that third party and you are open and honest, shout out Ken Bogard in his book, No Honesty, it's not on you to run the meeting. So you're just a participant with your team, with your staff, that you're all equal playing field here. We're going through this system together. And I think that that's actually like a morale play. Instead of always having the owner lead, hey, we're going to do this. It's almost like, no offense to all you companies out there doing self-implementation stuff, but it's a glorified book club for your staff.
Yeah. You know,
like it really is.
Yeah.
If we're going to be honest.
You get improvements.
Sure.
Right? Absolutely. There's some easy, simple things like just run a L10 or a weekly meeting, how we call it. That alone is like a unlock for people. So that's great. But getting the full brunt of it, and actually, to your point, like my job is to read the room to tell when someone is holding back.
Yeah.
Because again, if I'm facilitating, right, to your point,
It's like you're
everyone's just gonna
saying
listen to
this,
me.
but it sounds like you have something more to add.
Yeah.
Which that would not probably happen if
No.
it was owner led.
You know, and again, in most companies, the owner, no matter what, even if they're an open participant, meaning they're not over gregarious and say, no, we're doing it my way, people will still defer. Like that's just natural, right?
Yep.
Oh, if you said it, then we'll just do that.
Yeah.
But that doesn't mean it's the best answer.
Correct. And that's my point.
Right. Yeah.
It's like, hey, we're going to go all do a book club together. But even if, like, the funny thing is, like, even if the book says this, I'm still the owner, so we're going to do it this way. And everyone's like, but and it's just really awkward and weird, which is why people like you exist.
Yeah.
And which is why the world needs people like you and business owners need people like you. So I'd like to go back a little bit. So talk to me about how you got into Great Lakes Essential Power. What was your journey getting there as CEO, owner, and like, what's that journey been like?
So, out of college, in college, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I wanted to make money. I wanted to get the resume, wanted to do all those things that normal American schools and or whatever would teach you, right? Go do more, do the American dream. But I thought the way to do that was through corporate America. Didn't believe I had any other skills to do anything else. So I was able to get a job with GE. I was like, I want it on my resume. And it's a great company. And it is and was and all those things. But I was doing that. I did that for 10 years through the technical sales leadership program, and then was moving up the ladder and realizing that this wasn't for me. And I had, at the time, I didn't know anything else that I could do, but I was traveling a lot. I had 2 young kids, and I just realized, I called myself, I didn't want to be an asshole dad. I joked that my kids didn't know my name, right? And my wife was trying to forget my name at times. She didn't call me by my name.
Entrepreneurship.
Yeah. And so I didn't know what else to do. I realized, I did interview around with other companies, and I was like, man, I feel like I want to create something, but I didn't have any ideas. But I did know the industry I was in. So I went to GE at the time. There was like 6 different divisions in this marketplace that didn't know that we all had common clients, right? Didn't know their ass from hole in the ground. That's going and so I pitched GE at the time. I said, I want to take this territory as an independent sales rep, Michigan, my base one. And then I said, I want to go to these other divisions and do the same thing. And my boss at the time, I was considered a high potential and was, moving up and that kind of thing. And she didn't want me to go. And she's like, that's funny, but no. And it took like 8 or 10 months. And I said, okay, here's the deal. I do want to do this. I know it. It's something I do know. I'm going to give you to the end of the year. I'm going to do it. Well, lo and behold, in true corporate America fashion, they had a reorg at my layer of management and above. And it was kind of perfect timing. They said, okay, you can either do what you're asking to do, or you can take this executive job in Chicago. And I said, awesome, thank you. And that's what started it. I was in 2014. So was able to negotiate a little bit of I never got funding, but how we were able to work it out is they gave us a package, and I had 2 employees here that came with me, so gave us all a package. So for 6 months, we were able to go do our own thing, and we negotiated how we were going to get paid and all that. So we had benefits for 6 months.
Wow.
So it was our way of kind of self-funding the business without taking that big of a risk. My wife was scared, but
Of course.
it was also like as soft of a landing as you could get.
Yeah.
And then, so then we went to the other divisions of GE, then became the rep for that. And then 5 years later, GE, the electrical side of GE, which was the cornerstone, Thomas Edison, sold off that division to ABB, a company called ABB, and global electrical manufacturer. And so since then we transitioned that and we became all of the things for them here in Michigan as well. And, through all of that, great people, great humans, just working hard, all those things. I realized my passion was lying somewhere else, and I was ignoring it for the longest time. And in order to do that, I just ignored the business. And so when you say I have experience, yeah, I've had experience of, even though running on a operating system, I know how to screw that up. So, and that's by ignoring it. Because a lot of times these operating systems, and I'm a product of it, it allows the business owner and others to buy their time back in a different way, right? Because you learn how to put people around you, you learn how to put accountabilities and expectations and roles and responsibilities and all those things for people so that it's finally off your desk. And many people, and I say that because I did this, I was the one gallivanting around saying, I'm in the owner's box, right? I get to go do whatever I want. So then I'm out golfing everywhere, and that was my main mission, was to tell everybody that I was not working hard. And then I say this all the time, but then someone was like, well, that's great, but is it growing? I'm like, oof, no, wait a minute. Let me go back and look. And no, it's shrinking. And then with COVID and everything else hitting, we took on some debt to try to keep the momentum going. And they just dragged me down into I was a shell of myself for 3 or 4 years. I was like, I got to figure out what I want to go do. And our mutual friend, Bob Shinafelt, I ran across him. And that was the beginning of the rest of my life, of figuring out who I am. And it just happened, chipping away all these years. And even, last couple of weeks, I've had these massive breakthroughs of just talking to the right person at the right time that hits the same thing. You've heard it 1,000 times, whatever it might be, about judging others and all those things. I just realized how much of a victim I had made myself. I'd projected everything else, that I was strong and everything else, but inside I was just hiding. I can't show you all the bad shit I'm doing. And so been an amazing journey that allows me to sit with others and get through, help them get over whatever shame or fear or doubt that is holding them back in an owner sitting, right? So doing this with a leadership team where no one sees that. Those are the breakthroughs that are just, because I see myself sitting in that chair going, just wait, because this is going to hit you in a way. Like I measure my meetings in tears now, right? Because we go through some really cool stuff together, and think about the people that you work with. You're with them more than with your own family
sometimes. Yeah.
So, my gosh, and it's amazing how little people know each other, and they've been working together for 15 years, and you're like, wow, you didn't know he was in a band? Like, that seems like a pretty common thing to talk about.
Yeah.
So it's amazing how business desensitizes so many things. Not all businesses, but it's easy. Everyone's here to
do the job,
do the job,
clock out.
Boom.
Yep.
Yeah, that's, and I'm just getting going on the rest of my life every day.
It's hard to change when you're unwilling to be honest with yourself.
Yeah.
And it starts there sometimes. Even
I actually was just going through a talk in my head, right? So I was just with my oldest son is going to be a junior, and he's a runner. So we just had a team meeting yesterday and had a great speaker. They brought in a great speaker to talk to me, 5-time Olympian, all these things. And it just got me thinking, some of the things he was mentioning, it got me thinking about how can I help these boys in a way that's not the athletic side of things, but really walking them through my lessons that I'm learning now at 45 years old. And it took me down a path that I recognized that in college, I was in a fraternity and we were going through pledgeship, and I remember all the things that happen that don't happen anymore in pledgeship and fraternities, things like that. But it was like I would always come up with an excuse. Like, so someone was getting yelled at or something in a fraternity, and I'd come up with an excuse, or I'd tell them why, and they called me the excuse chair. Those are the seniors, yelled at me. I'm an excuse chair, and everybody was laughed about it. And then I just realized, like, holy shit, I've been doing that my whole life, making excuses instead of stepping into things. Outwardly appearing that I'm not, but I'd give myself all kinds of
reasons why I'm in the situation I'm in,
or whatever I might, because again, this entrepreneurial journey isn't easy on the family at all times. And so realizing how much I made an excuse for everything without owning it. And then I finally started owning stuff, and what do you know, right? Then people supportive. Because you're always worried about someone's going to look down on you or whatever. And, just like what you had today. We had 100+ people, incredible entrepreneurs, some doers, people have been supremely successful. And I don't know any of them.
All across the board,
But all across the board. But how many are showing up that way because they think we're supposed to? Like, I'm supposed to show up as the expert. I come to something like this. And that's a whole hell of a lot of pressure to put on yourself when I'm not. I'm not even portraying to be the expert. But, how much easier I can float through a room today because I'm not trying to put on a show for someone. Again, I'm learning this later in life.
But it's a massive lesson. I mean, it's also just like the whole brand that we wear of all of the team had the word authentic across their shirt. And I remember talking to someone, they're like, oh, you're not dressing up for this event? Or you're not having your team, why are you not, what, in T-shirts? It's like, well, this is who we are, though. It doesn't matter.
Right.
You might think suit and tie is what you should show up, and you can. But for our team, we're a T-shirt team.
Yeah, right.
And that's okay.
Yeah.
And so it was, man, watching people interact, you do sometimes feel like you always got to put on a show, you put it on. But I'm telling you, man, you know this. The best relationships are the one when you have two people being unbelievably honest with each other.
Yeah.
And man, those are just the ones that are worth having around.
Well, no, and I need to applaud you for your opening message today and throughout. You're great at self-deprecating humor, but at the same time, it was a very professional event today. Very well done. And it'd be easy to just lean in that, like, hey, this is what we do. Like, just look at us. But you're like, hey guys, we're just getting this thing started. So thank you. And sharing people with your journey. Because that can scare someone off, some, big shot that's trying to, you only have, and whether one of the people that you mentioned today, if they knew you were your first client or not, they didn't think they were.
Yeah.
Right? But you got to not fake it till you make it, but you got to
start.
In.
You got to also start somewhere too.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that vulnerability is what opens everyone else up. To be doing the same thing.
Yeah, because there's two ways to look at. We'll use my company. We're actually very similar because we're in very new things together. Like we both kind of made the jump similarly in similar time, right? Bloom is a new thing for me or for you. 313. And it'd be one thing for me to present myself today and be like, well, look at all these big shots we're now working with. I'm like, well, the facts are we're an 8-month-old company.
Yeah.
That's the facts.
Yeah.
Who was it? Alex Ramosi. Like, the reason why I'm comfortable sharing that is, number one, it's the truth, but also people buy momentum.
Yeah.
And when you're willing to be honest and authentic and real, like, hey, listen, 8 months ago, this company didn't even exist. We didn't have an idea. Wes, you were my first client. I don't know if you knew that, but thank you.
Yeah.
For just giving us a chance. And you're willing to be honest with the journey. People resonate with that. And they're like, wait, I would never admitted that. I'm in the same boat.
Yeah.
And then you just build people that want to help you because they're like, wait, I want to be part. Let me hop on this train.
Yeah.
And so that was the goal. And the goal was just to, it was funny. I actually wasn't planning to give a little thing because the event was about the space. The event was about my team, and the event was about the speakers. Because I wanted for people to come and actually be able to learn from people way smarter than me.
Yeah.
But last night I was getting the slide deck, and I was like, we're going to do this 3-hour event, and nobody's going to even know who we are.
Yeah.
And I was like, I should probably tell a little bit. And I think it landed well, and I appreciate you saying that. Yeah. But so what I think's cool, man, is how old are you?
45.
You're in your 40s. And
into my 40s.
You're old.
Closer to 50. Yeah. I'm closer to 50.
You're old.
Yeah.
And you've had the humility to be like, whoa, I don't have it all figured out. That's a freeing thing.
It is.
But it's also hard sometimes to get to, and a lot of pain to get there.
Absolutely.
Tell me about that a little bit.
I think that I equate my lessons mostly at home because in the business world, again, I was the excuse chair. So outwardly, right? People in the office, I don't berate them. Outwardly, I project that I'm a nice guy.
Yeah.
At home, where someone knows you the most, and the struggles that you're causing are the ones you're causing. You're the most important relationship you have outside of a religion that you might have is your spouse.
Mm-hmm.
It's the hardest one. If you don't put effort into it, then you throw kids in the mix, you throw financial struggle in the mix, you throw all of the things you start accumulating when you're trying to portray that you're successful. So that's the house, the cars, the memberships, the private school, all those things. And then that pressure just keeps piling up more and more because you're just trying to figure out, how do I keep this? Now I have all this. Now what do I do?
Yeah.
And I think that's what freezes many people is like, well, I have all this. I can't possibly start fresh, start with $0, and then it might last 6 months or whatever, right? So you get stuck in that.
Mm-hmm.
And really, for me, my marriage is my litmus of how I am showing up. So I've been working hard on myself, as I was telling you, for the last 5-6 years to figure out what I want to go do. But I went and did that. I was spending money on coaches. I was doing all these things. I was doing retreats. And meanwhile, my wife's at home with the kids, and I'm showing up great for everyone around me. Like, I have the best day. I'm sitting in my car, finishing up a great call with someone, and I walk in the house, and bam, she's hitting me with the kids, doing all, like, oh, this. And I'm like, man. And this is a conversation I actually have with my coach. Like, she's the only person that can ruin my day. Like, that's the kind of shit I was coming up with. And that can just bring me down. Like, how dare you, after this wonderful day I've had, come break me down? Because she knows me the best, and I've hurt her the most, whether I knew it or not, right? Mm-hmm. How I was showing up for her was none of those things. How I was showing up for her was judgment, was, man, can't you keep your shit together? Like, can't you just communicate nicely? Those are the things that are going through my head. Like, man, I would never say that to anyone. And she's like, I don't say that to anyone else either, right? So we're in this this relationship that's supposed to be based on love, and forgiveness and all those things, that was a shell because we were running through life. I have 4 kids, by the way, age 5 to 16 now. That's not easy to navigate. And then when you don't have a partner, i.e. me, I'm along for the journey, but I'm there.
Yeah.
And, so much of my life being the excuse chair was I wasn't really parenting my kids, or we weren't on the same page of how we're going to parent our kids. So then I just defaulted by letting her do that. And then I didn't like how an outcome came. So then I came over the top, based on my humble upbringing, thinking that I don't want my kids to expect too much in life. I want them to have to work for things. Mm-hmm. And so then I would create an argument out of something because I wasn't a participant
to begin
on.
with, right?
And so this just wheel of shit. And we talked about divorce a lot. It would go in waves. First off, she was the one talking about divorce years ago. And then we would do the normal, okay, we'll fix this for now, all that. Mm-hmm. And then it got to the point where during this time I was like, I want a divorce. Because, man, she can't change for me. All I did was change for her. This shit that's going through my head. And, in all the work I'm doing with myself, with others, I wasn't participating with that. And so, back to the giving myself a break, I was trying to shield her from so many things, whether I was going with the business or I thought I was trying to shield her, right? What I was trying to do is protect myself from, like, sharing my faults and sharing what I've screwed up. All the work that can be done with yourself, with, again, whether at church, whether it be with just great friends that support you, or you have a coach that you pay for, or whatever it might be, you still have to get there on your own. And I was reading books, and I could spout all kinds of great shit. But then me showing up and putting this layer up with the most important person in my life, unknowingly, it took me a long time to forgive myself for that. So then it just kept it going even further. And now I'm not solved. I'm not fixed. There is no fixing. Because that was the thing, is I wanted to fix her, right? Oh, I mean, I'm doing great. I need to fix you. So then that goes over like a
as
fart
you
in
assume,
church, right? And so giving up that and actually finally forgiving myself over all these years, because I still, no matter how much work I did to make, having a closing conversation with my parents, or all these things that many, go through with psychotherapy and things like that, I didn't really have that reflection on myself yet. And so that was one of the things that was when I was talking about the kids and what kind of talk I would have with them, because they're all about the team, right? And it's like, well, you can't have a team unless you're good with yourself first. And I have to say that, again, not solved, but all my wife wants is to communicate. And I can equate that to business too, right? That's what we'd help is communication. But for me, all she wanted to do, I was a partner.
Yeah.
A best
She
friend.
also wanted to feel included.
Yeah, absolutely. That's that partnership, is be included in things, whether it's good, bad, or whatever.
Yeah.
She'll be my cheerleader, and she always has. But then I kept her for you couldn't quite get over the top, because then I'm showing up as whatever. So we are in a spot now because I show up and I am not resenting, because what was happening is a resentment wheel of I resent her for this, then she resents, and it's just this vicious cycle.
Yeah.
And I got to say that, now it's feels like we're back in college, because I am choosing to love her for who she is. And she's always chosen that. But I never gave her the grace to understand that. And so, lots of lessons in all of those things. But for me, it's just, and in the past, I would probably say she'd murder me for having this conversation. But at the same time, we just had our 19th anniversary yesterday.
Oh, that's great, man.
And it was magical. In the past, I'm last minute guy.
Yeah.
I'm thoughtful, but hey, at the last minute.
Squirrel.
Yep. And so, I'm getting her a gift at what time, right before of, or we don't have plans yet. In the past, she'd be like, we don't have plans, so you don't care, that kind of.
Yeah.
And again, all she wanted was to make her think that I'm thinking of her, right?
Right.
So yesterday we've had all kinds of, we got to do a trip a couple weeks ago, just us, and it was great. And then, life and craziness, kids coming out of school, camps, all that kind of stuff. And then it shows up. She's like, so what do you want to do? I'm like, well, let's go golf. Play 9 holes real quick. Did that. And then we were going to have dinner at the club and do these nice things. And then we're both just like, no, I don't want to do that. Let's go get some drinks and let's go sit in a park. Awesome. So we go do that. And we're like, well, what do you want to go eat? No, we're like, I don't know what you want to do. And we were at a park. I was like, well, you want to DoorDash some pizza here? DoorDash the pizza. And then we just sat there, hanging out all night. And then drive around. Let's go find another park and go sit in. And man, it was the best. And us talking back and forth this morning, it was like the best night we've ever had. And it wasn't manufactured. It wasn't because it was a nice dinner that we paid for. All those kind of things.
Like
it was like
20 again,
It was like the simplest thing.
Yep.
Man, and it's simple, not overcomplicating. That lessons for everything.
There's so many different ways that I can go with that. And the people that have committed their life to you are sometimes the ones that we try to keep at arm's length the most. And it doesn't make any sense.
That's the dumbest thing in the world.
Right. It's like, and then we feel like if they know who we really are, like they don't already know.
Yeah.
That then they're going to love us less, or whatever lie we tell ourselves. And reality is a lot of times our partners and our wives, our spouses, they just want to be included. And they're like, listen, shout out all you women that are married to entrepreneurs.
Amen.
I am sorry. You don't deserve it. You deserve better than us. But we love you, and it is the lies we play in our heads of like, oh, if my wife knew that the business was this, she's going to feel like this, or she actually, it's like, no, they actually just want to know just so they can actually love you more.
Yeah.
Like for them, a lot of times it's like, we just want to love you and you won't let us.
That's real. Yeah.
But then we're the ones saying that they're the problem. And yeah, dude, first of all, Thank you for being honest and authentic on the podcast today. I think this conversation, funny enough, Ken and I were just talking about when things aren't right at home, it is like nothing's right in the world.
Yeah, right.
Like, it's amazing how our wives have the power to derail everything if they want to. Because I think we love them so much that when we feel that's not right, it's like, man, but when things are right, dude, you can conquer anything.
Yeah. Yeah, and actually you brought up a good point that, I was saying, my wife could dress me down faster than anyone else. Because again, either I've got a shield up for everybody else or they're not being honest with me versus her, like, I see you wiggling, you dumbass. Like,
what are you doing?
Come with it. Let's go. And that's what would set me off in the past. I'm like, God damn it, no one else sees that. How come you can see this? And that is just the amazing superpower.
Yeah.
Because women actually pay attention.
Yeah.
They listen. And
what you should actually be is like, wait, you love me that much that you know me that well?
Yeah.
Like, that's what it should be.
Yeah.
Instead we get like, we're like, how'd she know that? It's like, well, she knows it because she's been paying attention.
Yeah. And how about this one?
She cares.
How about this one? That my coach, Abiza Rashid, by the way, amazing. When I was talking about how I could show up and just and air, like after today, like I love sessions and stuff like today. Like come home, like great ideas, great people. And then, she'd say something, I'd be like, oh God. Or she rides me about something. I'm trying to not use those kind of words anymore. But what do you know? She actually has higher expectations for you than you do, was what was thrown back at me. And I'm like, whew. What if she loves you so much that she thinks you're better than you think you are?
She knows you're better.
Yeah, she knows you're better than you think you are. Like, whew. Wow. How about she loves you so much that she wants to help you? Wow. You don't see that.
And you know what's funny is if one of your guy friends that you view as like a mentor coach would say those hard words to you,
thank you, bro.
You'd be like, oh, thank you, bro.
Oh, the hug you'd have,
right?
Oh,
man, that was, I needed to hear it, open and honest, bro. And then your wife says it, you're like, well, yeah, it's just, and in reality, we should be like, it sounds stupid, but she needs to be that bro where it's also like, yes, you have an intimate relationship with, yes, but like, wow, you love me that enough to have hard words with me.
Yeah.
Like, thank you.
Well, and I think, and this is a thing that for me to get over too, is I acted as if I was superior. Right? Because we equate success to I'm the breadwinner, my wife's been at home. So, I'm the breadwinner. I'm the one that's supposed to be smart. All those things, right? I've got the experience.
I've got the coaches.
Like when we first started, and she's like, we were hiring someone. She goes, but that's our money. And I'm like, you don't know business. And I'm like, yeah, she's right. Like, do I need to do this?
Yeah.
Again, not giving credit because I'm supposed to be the smart. I'm supposed to be the man, the man here. That not giving her the credit for how brilliant she is. And
listen, it was my wife's idea to even do this podcast thing to begin with.
That's awesome.
So
she's brilliant.
Yeah, and now she could have never seen it to where it's gotten today. But if I would have, when she made, like, you maybe could consider doing this, I'd be like, if I was like, I'm not a podcast. Yeah. What would my life look like?
Yeah.
I listened to her one time in my life, and the one time I nailed it.
Yeah, that was a great line today.
Thank you. Bro, this has been a surprise of a podcast. Because you just never know what you're going to get, man, when you have conversations with people.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful that you were willing to open up and share your struggles, your growth.
Yeah.
And I know that people are going to resonate to it. What is, as we wrap up, let's pivot back to Bloom real quick. If there was one thing that if a business owner is listening to this, what are you passionate about, how Bloom helps them? And then, like, where can they find you?
Pick something to try to help yourself, right? If you're that minded, read the book, Flourish is the Bloom Growth book, obviously. Traction, great. Yeah. Again, that's a legendary. Start with that. Where I think that if they really want to transform the company, those are just mechanical things you can do. If you really want to transform your company, get vulnerable, be honest, just like I was saying at home, because I think most of us aren't really honest and vulnerable at home and in the business. Most owners want to they got here because they have all the answers.
Yeah.
So letting people know you don't have the answer and have your team step up, that is the work that we do is really around vulnerability and around opening people up so they can be seen amongst their peers, they can be seen themselves. And so, we have a 2.5-year curriculum that actually goes through that while we're in session. And that, to me, to really, really, really unlock the potential in the business, it's the human side. Those mechanical things, you can read a book, you can do all kinds of things. But if you don't, even just like sharing the VTO and EOS terms or growth plan that we call it.
Yeah.
Putting it down on paper is one thing, sharing it with others so someone can take action on it.
Another.
Right? And then, it's really that vulnerability. So, for me, that's why clients that already know everything, just ask them. Or not clients, people, they're not a great fit. I used to take them as a challenge, like, all right, well, I'll fix you again.
Yep.
And, ultimately, it's not the right thing for them. So it's got to be the right, there has to be a humility to start, but we're going to keep going further, right? So with me. So for me, I also have a podcast, as you know, The Roll Call, ROLE. It's on Spotify, YouTube, all those things. And my website is johnglon.com, John, use the H. JOHNGLON. LinkedIn, my number is 248-534-8503.
Perfect.
Call it. Happy to help. Happy to connect. If I can't help, I'll connect you with someone.
Well, dude, this has been this has just been a blessing to me. After the event, like the adrenaline's going, then you're over, and I was like, man, but now I feel rejuvenated again of just being two dudes, being honest with struggles in life, and this is where real growth happens, and this is also where inspiration happens. So I know, dude, you're a legend. Thank you for coming on.
Likewise. Thanks, brother.
Your story today, I know, is going to inspire listeners. And thank you for being vulnerable on today's show.
Thank you, and thanks to God.
And thank you for listening to this episode of the Dylan England Show. JohnGlon.com with an H and the John, not the Glon.
Yeah, correct, yes.
JohnGlon.com. Check it out. The Roll Call Podcast. Follow it on Apple, Spotify. John has some amazing guests. You think I have amazing guests? You should check out the guests that he's had.
Right.
And it's amazing, an amazing show. And while you're here, though, you might as well subscribe to this one. So, like, comment, subscribe, share this episode with a friend. If you know of an entrepreneur that is just, whether they're going through marriage struggles, whether they're going through business struggles, I'm telling you, this is an episode they have to listen to. So send it to them today. Thank you guys for listening.